in terms of this formal place setting, which you have a copy of 2 place settings, I believe, in your packet. There's one, I think, before that. Yes, that's the one. It's this one here. So you'll see the difference in an informal place setting versus a formal place setting. Now, I didn't bring everything to a formal because, as you can see, there are a lot of pieces in a really, really, really formal place setting. So what I kind of did is I combined the informal and the formal just so you can see the difference. So in this place setting, of course, I know, let me first talk about how you come to the table. And I watched how some of you came and sat down in your seats. Some plopped. Some did like this. And then this is the correct way that you sit. First of all, when you go and you sit in a chair, you smooth. If you have on a skirt, you smooth it. Now, you don't have to do like that, like I see so many people in church do. Okay, you simply discreetly smooth your skirt or your dress, and you sit down. You place yourself. Notice the difference? You place yourself. The same thing when you're getting in and out of a car. I see so many young ladies, women too, do this. They're getting like this, foot first. Is that right? Because what if you have on a skirt that's fitted like mine? What's going to happen? And I've done that. So what you do is, if you're with a man, what should he do?
Open the door.
Remember that. Stand there until he gets it. So when you're opening, if you're opening the door for yourself, you do this. And then you put your legs in. Follow me? Because if you do it the other way, whatever you have on will be seen, and your legs will be gaping open. So you sit, then you place your legs in. Now, of course, you have to learn how to do that quickly, because if it's a matter of safety, you want to make sure that you get in your car quickly. Okay? All right. So now, in terms of coming to the table, you would first put the napkin where? Once you're seated at the table, you will place your napkin on your lap. Should you put it up here? No. Okay. You have to just learn how to eat more carefully. Now, if you went to a restaurant that serves lobster or something like that, guess what? They have a bib that they actually put on you, so you still don't have to put it up here. Now, men will sometimes do that because they have a shirt and a tie on and they don't want things to fall on their tie. However, ladies, and I know that some of you might be tempted to put it up here because you don't want anything to drop. No, what you need to just do is learn how to position your mouth and your fork so that you don't drop food, which means you don't shovel food on it and have it heaping. Okay, so you're seated at the table with the napkin across your lap. You sit to where the table barely touches your abdomen. So in other words, you shouldn't be, booted out in the aisle or anything like that. You want to make sure that the chair is just close enough to the table where it barely touches your abdomen. That will prevent all that food dropping on you, so the napkin on your lap will be adequate. Everyone clear? Yes. Okay. So now, let's just say that we're out to lunch, and so we're using a more informal place setting, although this is China and this is Crystal. So it's actually more of a formal place setting. Okay, so now, always remember that when you see multiple forks, multiple knives, and multiple spoons, you start from the outside in. So in other words, the first thing that's going to be served here is going to be my what? Salad. Therefore, I use this fork. All right. Sometimes you might see 2 knives, and basically one is for spreading your butter. Sometimes you'll have like a little butter knife all by itself, and then it will be placed on your bread dish. Okay? It's always on the left of your place setting. So now this is your salad plate. Usually if you go to something formal, they're going to serve the salad, or either the salad will already be there, okay? So now let's move that there. And so we've started with the salad. So how do you inform the waiter that you're finished eating? Exactly. Well, you can put it in two positions. You're right. Okay, so once you're done with the salad, if you only have one knife, then they will ask you to keep it, and then you'll put it on the side of your plate because your entree will be served. Okay? All right, so now, let's just say that they get ready to take away the...
Sorry, I missed it. What happened with the salad and the fork and the knife?
Okay, so your first course in the formal dinner is usually your salad. Okay, so when that's done, and I was just saying what to do with your utensil when you're finished, you can just put it crossways, this way, where it's on an angle, or you can just do it this way to indicate that you're finished.
Okay, and then you put the knife with it too, or no?
Not if there's only one knife.
Oh.
If there are two knives, that means that there's one knife that goes with the salad, and then you'll put both on there, and then they'll take that away. Okay? All right. So now, a lot of people get confused as to which utensils belong to them and which cups or glasses belong to them. Wet is always to your right. Say that. Wet is always to your right. So all of the glasses will always be to the right, and then dry is to your left. So in other words, the bread plate will always be to your left. Okay, because sometimes you know how if you've ever sat at a table and there aren't enough things to go around, it's because somebody took the wrong one. Okay, so you can discreetly say that, oh, that's my bread plate. Okay, and then that way it sends the message around to the table that, oh, you go to the left. Okay, all right, so now, in a really, really formal, which is the one at the bottom where you see like 15, 20 different utensils, the first course is actually going to be soup, okay? Now notice I don't have a soup bowl here because this isn't like ultra, ultra formal. But your soup spoon is actually on the outer. So the soup would be first, and if you notice the soup spoon is like really round, okay, and that's so it can dip the soup and get ample amount. All right, so that's always on the outer layer. Then the salad would be served, and then the entree. So now, let's move this away. So now we're at dinner, and we're left with the actual dinner fork and the dinner knife. Now, if you're having steak, there would be a certain type of knife that would be very sharp so that you could cut through the meat, okay? So now, let's just say that we've completed dinner and the waiter has come and said, are you finished? What would indicate to that person that we're done?
The silverware should be placed at 3 o'clock on your plate.
It can either be placed across like this on an angle, or either you can crisscross it like that. Can everyone see? You could either do it across like this, or either have both of them parallel like that. And they will know, without even asking you, that you're done. Okay? So, we've taken that away. So now, in many of them, many situations, they will ask you if you would like coffee after dinner or coffee after lunch. If not, fine, okay? And then how you would communicate that, you would simply turn your cup down that way. Now, you see all these glasses, and as I was explaining to Missionary Showers earlier today, we talked about just having world knowledge. Now, I know that you all would not be drinking anything other than iced tea, pop, or anything, water.
Amen.
But just so in case you're in a situation where you see all these glasses, I'm just going to run through what they're for. And what you would do in a situation where, you know, they're on the table, but you're not partaking, and I'll tell you the right behaviors for that. So, this one is the water goblet. This one is a wine glass. This is a champagne flute. And then this one would be used for what? Iced tea, lemonade, Sierra Mist, and things like that. Okay, so in the super formal, which is the one at the bottom, this one would also be used for, and this is where it really gets kind of tricky, but again, it's for your knowledge, okay, just for knowledge. This would also be used for red wine, and then this one would be used for white. And again, it's just knowledge, because I think even though you all are saved, you're in the church, it still helps you when everybody you come in contact with won't be. And you will be in situations where they expect you to be cultured. In other words, have knowledge of different kinds of situations. So it's very important that you know that. And just because you don't partake doesn't mean that you shouldn't know about it. All right, so now, let's assume that you're sitting there and you, we decided that you don't want any, I'm sorry, this is wrong. Okay, I was rushing when I did that. So that's the spoon that goes with your tea and coffee. All right, so let's say that, well, no, I decided I don't want any coffee or tea after dinner or lunch. And let's say that your drink of choice was iced tea. This spoon, notice how long it is what you would use to stir your iced tea, your lemon and sugar and all of that, okay? So let's just say that these glasses are here. You could either ask the waiter to remove them, or all you do is turn them upside down, and then they will know that you're not going to have any wine or any champagne. Is that clear? So if you feel more comfortable, however, you can just ask them to take them away. Nicely. Okay? All right, and so now we're at the end of the meal where this last spoon that's here is really for dessert. And whatever that dessert is, whether it's a chocolate mousse, whether it's cake, sometimes depending on what the dessert is, they'll either have a small fork or either a spoon. Okay? And that concludes your table etiquette. Now, I have